pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Martini?
Here.
Jankowski?
Here.
Newman?
Here.
Snyder?
Here. All right, so we've got Kyle, Jim, and Matt are all out. So motion to, I move we excuse. All right, second that.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, agenda additions. Anybody have anything we wanted to add?
Just wanted to talk about some of the signage.
Okay, so let's talk about that. We can add that to 7C, new business. We'll add signs there.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
Good. All right. Motion to approve the agenda as amended? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Meeting minutes, approval of meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 17th meeting.
Just one change, though. In the kids' barge party, it stated the date was August 16th, and they moved it to August 23rd.
Yes, they did.
Sure. I think the minutes capture it right, but we can just.
They do?
That's what we had said at the time of the meeting, so we'll update it. We'll let everybody know, but the minutes, I think, are accurate.
Okay. Then I'll second the approval then.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Of course you can. So we'll just update the barge party in 10. Okay, call to the public. I think we'll get to your application, I'm assuming, in a minute, but nothing else in the public. So let's start with new business. Progressive here.
All right. Hey, Jared.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, yourself?
All right. It's crazy that summer's almost over. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
went by really fast.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the handout I gave you guys is the project work journal.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with how it's laid out. Upper right-hand corner is where your beginning budget was set for the 2024 season. It kind of breaks down each date as far as what was done, products used, treatment-wise, and overall cost. And then on the third page, it shows you guys have a remaining balance of your budget of $15,522.61. With that, I anticipate probably one more treatment for the year. I'm surveying next week on the 28th tentatively. I'll send out an email with my exact time and everything. Mostly kind of mapping out any nuisance algae areas and starry stonewort, which tend to become more of a problem this late into the season. Based on my last survey, the milfoil treatments previously worked pretty well. I didn't really notice much invasive growth. I did update the harvesting map, which is the last page of the document here, and I sent that into the village after my last survey to kind of guide the harvesters in focus areas where it was kind of getting bad, to open up some navigation and to get that biomass out. I'll confer with the village as far as, my next survey. I can create an updated harvesting map again. I don't know how late into the season they typically run your guys' harvester, but.
Hell yeah. Last day of harvester is in October 12th.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll have another map that kind of just shows, if you got some of these areas, I'll remove those and add any additional areas that I might see fit, just to keep their focus on around the lake.
So do you do the harvesting maps at the same time you do the?
Yep, so every time I send a
chemical
treatment map out, I send an updated harvesting map to David, and he gives that to the operators. It slowly changes throughout the season based on milfoil growth usually, so we tell them to avoid certain areas. We want the treatment, and then after that treatment is successful, we'll have them move into those areas.
Yeah.
And then same thing with this. I kind of focus the areas on pretty dense navigational issues this time around. This late into the season, remove biomass, and then also some starry stonewort areas. We're going to try to see if I can get the operators to harvest those areas prior to my survey next week. And then we'll treat the starry stonewort after they harvest to keep it low growing. We've seen success with that in other lakes, where if you remove the biomass that's accumulated and then treat whatever is left.
Which is the one that if you do harvest, you run the risk of spreading it? Is that
Eurasian milfoil
Okay.
can spread
So that's
via
only chemically
fragmentation.
treated, right?
Yep, starry stonewort can as well, but you guys have it pretty much around the lake already, majority-wise. And there's only so much that herbicide treatment can do for star A. We can only use copper products. And even then, if it's really thick growing, it doesn't get as good of control as if you were to harvest it first. So that's kind of the idea this late season, target those harvesting areas, come back around and treat them, just so you're not accumulating that dead growth over the season. Other than that, we took water quality samples during my last survey. Those will be processed and analyzed at our end of year report. The lake was looking really good during my last survey as far as algae is concerned, and water clarity was up, which is good. And I'll be sure to include any of you guys on the next treatment for my survey upcoming, but other
So
than that.
the water quality stuff that you did was just clarity, or you did like
We did
E. coli
clarity, we
testing?
collected water testing for total phosphorus, chlorophyll A, and the standard stuff we do at top, middle, bottom for the 3 deep basins in the lake.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much each kind of section. And then that gives us a better idea of your guys' trophic state or nutrient loading within the lake, which because of the light winter, a lot of lakes across Oakland County and across Michigan have seen a pretty large spike in growth this year. So I know that your guys' harvester probably has been working pretty hard this summer to keep up with all of it. Plants don't really, aquatic plants don't really seem to be too frightened by water temperature, so as long as they have sunlight, they can grow all year round, and that's kind of what we noticed from the start is a lot of these plants over winter were kind of just hanging out and doing their thing, so kind of started off the year with a pretty large bloom. It's kind of just been progressing ever since.
So is there any benefit to going another few weeks into the season harvesting, or does that really not make a difference?
It can. I guess it really depends on what the weather is looking like. The plants will slow down, and if you cut them kind of early fall, like mid-September here, they really have a hard time growing back to full height. And also then, if we do get a lot of snow and ice cover, when they die off, you don't have as much biomass accumulating, which produces muck in the lake and fills in the lake over time. So it's always good. Your most beneficial harvest is at the end of the season, right before that kind of natural senescence of the plants where they start to die off on their own or start to slow down and droop over. But, I haven't really heard of any other lakes harvesting later than October. Usually November 1st is a pretty hard cutoff for most harvesting around
Yeah, we're
Michigan.
usually right at the first 2 weeks of October. We take it
Yeah.
out because we got to winterize it and everything.
Right, so I wouldn't think that you guys need to go necessarily longer.
For your water test, because just even the note that David had sent us earlier, the water test that you did, you'll test for like E. coli and everything?
Oh, yes,
no?
we do, yep, we tested for E. coli during that as well, and they all were below the limits for
The lag time between when you test and when you get the results for that, because we had a note that in July that you guys had tested in, like it was mid-July. It says the 17th.
17th.
Right, you tested on the 17th and we got results or got contacted on the 23rd. And one of the areas had E. coli levels that were high, but that was like a 6-day lag between when it was testing versus when we got the results. So is that like a normal length of time?
Yeah, that's just because the lab that we send them to, as soon as we get the results, we review them. And they just had a longer return time for those for some reason.
Okay, yeah, because
Is it typically that one?
Typically for E. coli, most are the lab that we do use, and most labs usually have 1 to 3 days, depending on when you get it to them. I'll have to look, the 17th, what day that was. I know if it's later in the week, sometimes
Wednesday.
they freeze them, and then you get to wait over the course of the weekend. That could have been the case for you guys. But we can...
I guess when you get the results, whatever, because in this instance, it's not an area that we own in the village, but, by the time we actually got the results, it was, 6 days later.
Right, and then
There's not really much we can do at that point because, generally it subsides by then, right? If you want to tell people not to swim or something, it's already too late. It's probably not even an issue anymore at that point because it goes away so fast. Right?
Yeah, E. coli levels
with all
can
the
really
geese.
fluctuate, and we kind of just, best practices for swimming areas, if you guys do own any swim areas on the lake, which I'm sure you guys do, there's a large amount of waterfowl on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, that's why we do the
I
goose
probably
roundup
went
and stuff
swimming in.
every year.
Yeah. And the people that are most impacted by E. coli levels are children and pets, because
Yeah.
they're the most likely to consume the water.
Yeah.
E. coli is really only going to be harmful as far as human health as if it's consumed or if you have cuts,
Yeah.
infection like that, and usually that's children and pets. So just err on the side of caution when swimming in public areas if there are a lot of geese or ducks.
Yeah, I would just say if there's any possibility to get the results as soon as you get them, especially if they're negative. I don't know how long, if 5 days is 6 days is normal, or if we can get them quicker, because
Right.
if we did want to notify people.
Yeah, I can look into, I can contact the lab, maybe it's just something if we do our testing on Mondays, so they have the best opportunity to be reported back.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Okay.
So,
And will you come in and do like an end-of-year report? I can't remember. I thought we
Yep.
usually had like an end-of-year full summary of everything.
yep,
so.
yeah, so that'll be at the end. This next survey, I'll be doing my AVAS, which is, I do take data on all the plants in the lake,
Yep.
not just the invasives.
Yep.
That'll all get analyzed and put into an end-of-year report, and I'll present that at whatever meeting
Okay.
comes up. It's usually a fall meeting, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, we
October
have, I mean, we have
time,
them every month, so yeah,
Yeah,
we do
so-
September, October or something. So,
Yeah.
So probably one more treatment. Usually we're done right around Labor Day, so it seems like it's all lining up. So
Yep.
Probably one more treatment, and then we'll keep harvesting through October.
Yep.
Okay. We haven't had many complaints this year, which is good, having
Yeah,
it, not
it's good.
complaints. It's still the same thing, pretty much every year. It's the beginning, the algae in the beginning of the year. Seems like we've done some things that's improved, especially back in the canals over the past couple of years. But still, that first early May time, we always get hit with complaints on algae because it's
Yeah, that's-
blowing up every year, and it doesn't matter if it's a mild winter or crazy winter or whatever. It just always seems like it happens. So I don't know.
Well, when Jim and I did the boat count, which we'll talk about, we were back in the canal in that area where it's usually pretty heavy. I've never seen it that clear in my
right now
time
it's
I've
fine.
been here.
The only
It
problems
was like
we've
a
been
month
having
ago.
is like very early in the spring.
Yeah,
like
but
May.
there was like nothing there. I mean, it was
Yeah.
really nice back there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
May, I don't know, like
Good.
going into next year, I mean, we made some adjustments to try and get the canal cleaned up by doing earlier treatments and stuff like this, but I don't know, going into next year, if we could knock that out, we would go almost the whole summer with no complaints. Be pretty, I mean, we used to have a bunch of people in here every month. It's been really quiet.
Right.
So it's been going well. It's
Good.
like that last thing, if we can figure out how to manage that early algae. The good thing with the algae is that you could treat it, no swim restrictions. The treatments are super effective. It's gone in the day, right? It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, aquaweed's been pretty good this year about
Yeah.
the turnaround time.
Yeah.
I think we only had one instance where it kind of just popped up and they
Yeah.
were out, I think, a couple days later.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's a quick one, so it's just, it's like if we try and knock down all the complaints, that's basically the last one that remains. It's always early in the spring, same thing, you know?
Right.
Okay, you guys have any other questions?
No?
Good. I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
All right. Next new business, we have a board applicant. Come on up.
All right. Why can't you give Spark, please? I was here last February last year, and I heard what his qualifications were and mine. I said, take him.
We still need members. Yes.
Huh? So I'm back. The other side of it is, he went to Clausen High School, which is right across from where I lived in Clausen, and went to high school with my daughter. So I'm Jerry Schlaff. My qualifications, I'm a retiree, so I got time on my hands. You know. I was a registered professional engineer of the state of Michigan and the state of Indiana for 40 years or something like that. And the last time it came up, I had to take $700 worth of Mickey Mouse courses. And I said, well, if somebody's going to hire me, I'll take the courses. But so, truth. I'm no longer a registered professional engineer, but I was one for 40 years. Mechanical engineer, University of Michigan, Dearborn campus. Lived on the lake since 2001. I bought the house. It's on Lakeview. I bought it in 2000, moved in 2001. I bought it because I wanted to live on a lake. They wouldn't let me flood my street in Clawson. But it flooded every time it rained.
Would let you intentionally.
Yeah, I'd like to help out. I want to do something for the community. Okay.
Anything on the top of your mind that would be the first item of business for you?
First item of business for me is I wonder about septic systems. Geez, I see all those nods. I read the minutes, believe it or not, I read the minutes from 2013. And sad's come up.
We did one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We did one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We drove that on the board. We got like 50 people connected to the sewer.
Yeah,
So.
and now, when I asked about that a couple months ago, we got 3.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort, but we got one going, and we could get another one going. It's a
Yeah.
good thing for the lake.
That is an important,
Pardon?
that is an important thing to do.
Let me turn up my hearing aids.
You're doing fine, I'll yell.
He whispers, I don't hear him, and I'm sitting right next to him.
Part of what I did as an engineer is I go back and say, what causes this? What causes this, Why are we collecting all this stuff way over here when it's all spread out when we could collect it right here and prevent it from happening? And I'm wondering about septic systems. When I looked, it was going to cost $20,000 to connect to the city, or to Commerce. And a lot of people aren't going to afford that. I've been doing a lot of research on aerobic treatment units. You guys heard of that at all? They blow air into it like it was a city sewage system. They blow air into it, and the anaerobics become aerobics, and they clean it up so much better. I'm sorry, I'm being a pistol here. And I was on the board. I'd like to be assigned to look at something like that, because I'm going to look at it anyway.
Sure.
I can tell you that in Cape Cod, Bradbury or Bradsulpton County, they were losing tourists because they were so polluted. So they put this stuff in. In England, what am I doing? I don't want to. In England, they allowed people to empty their septic systems into the lake, into the river, into the stream. So we got to stop doing that. So they put these aerobic treatment units in, and are letting people discharge the things into those streams. And I may be full of crap, which is septic system talk. But that I would like to be assigned to that.
Sure.
Now I'd like to go home and have a wine.
What's your address? We're going to follow you there.
He's the lake view.
So,
Right there.
I want to wave to my kids. Can I wave to my kids?
Sure.
All right, kids, here I am. Here's Dad. Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
You got other assignments for me? Like I said, I'm retired.
Yeah.
She says I'm retarded, but
Do you know how to drive a harvester?
that's one of the things I want to do. I want to ride the harvester because I wonder. Answer me this. I see him down at Lake, when he comes to Lakeview, right? He starts out from the boat drop.
Yeah.
And he goes all the way down the lake.
Yeah.
I feel like Biden, all the way down the lake. And he rakes up leaves there. And then I don't know where Morel Beach is, but I think he comes all the way back and dumps his load and goes all the way back.
Yeah, we have like three dump spots around the lake that they'll dump
And
at.
I spent, the best job I ever had was with the Army Corps of Engineers one summer. If I didn't have a job, I would have been living at my folks' cottage, being on Lake St. Clair. The Corps of Engineers paid me to be on Lake St. Clair. And I was on a tugboat, a barge, and we didn't go all the way back to Fort Wayne every day. We went to near spot and docked for the night. And I'd be willing to have them dock at my place overnight. I'll provide it, seriously, I'll provide them with a rowboat with a motor on it. And he can just dock out there and go out to and save all this time it goes back and forth. Want to hear any more, or should I go home?
I think we're good.
Well, we're a lot smaller than Lake St. Clair, so I guess driving back and forth isn't such a big deal, but
Ponder that. How much time? 200 hours. How much time is spent going back and forth?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, for us, so I guess, we're looking for people who are available, who are willing to contribute and jump into things, and we get all sorts of things we've been doing the safety fair thing, we're kicking off and trying to get different things going, so, I mean, we're just looking for people who are willing to jump in and get
Okay.
involved, so.
Okay, cool.
You
All right.
guys, what do you think? Want to do nomination here?
I would nominate him to the board.
Okay. so-
Second.
All right. So,
Said no, my kids would have been after you.
so motion, you go by Jerry or Gerald?
Jerry,
All right, motion to add Jerry by Mr. Snyder here, seconded by Rob. We'll do a roll call vote.
Snyder,
Yes.
Jankowski.
Yes.
Martini,
Yep.
Newman.
Yes.
it's unanimous.
All right, so what happens now is that will go to council, right? So council actually makes the decision on whether you get added or not. They meet monthly, and then you'll have to go, I think, either to council and they swear you in, or or you can do it at the actual village office here. But they'll be in touch with you. The office can get in touch with you. You can
Very good.
contact the office,
Okay.
and then we meet
Third Wednesday.
third Wednesday of every month.
And we take a hiatus during the winter. Usually October is our last one, and we resume like February.
Because I was going to ask that because I might be going to Florida this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we generally, it's very slow in the winter, so we end up not meeting in the winter generally. so.
And I read enough of it that said, oh, he had to be kicked off. Well, but renominated him the next month.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
All right, very good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Wait, Lynn, Barb, I made it.
And if,
Sarah. Sarah's my granddaughter. She's on her way to Michigan. Okay, Northern Michigan University.
All right.
AMU.
Nice.
Record, TMI.
All right.
Oh, no, NMU. Can we go?
Yeah, you can go.
Sure.
All right, admin report, current lake level. I just pulled it up.
I didn't even
What did you say?
We'll do signage.
Oh, signage, yeah, I didn't add it, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about these signs.
Right, so I was taking my dog for one of the many walks that I take him on, and I always notice some of the signs around here. So first of all, the sign that's down there by the boat cleaning section there.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen it lately, but you can't see it
Wow.
because it's completely
Washed out.
faded and washed away. So the same thing, if you go over here along the berm, you'll see the, let's see, where are the signs over? The sign that says Huron River Watershed. You can't see
Yeah.
anything else on there. It's all faded out. There's like nothing there. So I propose either we remove them because they just look like messy signs, or we take some of the budget that we have and have the signs redone
So-
in the similar themes that we've got the other ones.
Why don't you want to just get an estimate on what it takes to get them redone? And
Okay.
then next meeting, we could just try and see if I could follow up on the budget, and then we could just make a motion to council to go get them redone, but at least we could start by getting that
Okay,
estimate.
but I wanted to see if you guys thought, is it worth getting them done, or we just get rid of?
Well, the one by the cleaning station, we should.
Yeah, right.
Is that the instructional sign?
Yeah, you can't see anything on it.
You can't read.
I mean, that should be a,
Yeah, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long to really pay attention to it. Shame on me, but,
Yeah, and that one-
but this one too, but the sign that just says Wolverine Lake, I mean, I think it,
Yeah.
it says it's part of the Huron watershed.
Yeah.
well, and sign technology's come a long way, so we might be able to get something that doesn't fade quite as much.
Right.
We got them all over Mill Race, they've been there for years.
Right.
Just like they got them up yesterday.
So I know David will ask me to get 3 quotes, which I will do, and,
I think by this time, we've gone through enough signs, we
Yeah.
would probably know who we should go through.
well, I'll go through the 2 that I typically, that are usually the lowest end
Yeah.
relative to the
Yeah,
other.
I'd be in favor of recommending we replace them, so, and I could confirm the budget thing. I can't tell if what I have here is 2024 for future. We have $1,000 for publications and stuff anyway, so we could probably take it out of our budget.
And relative to what the costs were for the other signs we had a year or so ago, the larger ones, it wasn't near,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't that
Yeah, these
costly.
ones are way
So
smaller.
these are smaller, and there'd only be 3 of them.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Sorry, could I ask a question?
Sure.
Sure.
Who are you talking about? Can anyone just,
The signs? So we have,
no, I mean, the signage and what it's,
yeah, so we've got a sign over here. We have a boat cleaning station by the dock,
By the
right? So
launch.
by the boat launch, that instructs people how to use the material there to clean your boat. And that sign that's there is completely faded and illegible, so you can't even see how to use it anymore.
Right.
So it was about replacing that sign. Yep. Okay, so then let's bring that back for next month then.
Okay.
All right? Okay, admin report, current lake level, it's basically right on target. It's at 3/10 of an inch, so right where it needs to be.
Do you know that when we got all
We
that
did
rain
go
a
high,
few weeks,
yep.
did we have to drain it?
Yeah, so we got 2 big rainstorms. We've accumulated over 4 inches of rain in August, and we went over twice that we had to open the gates and bring it back down. We spent about, I think, a total of 5 days over the limit across those 2 rainstorms. We got as high as, let me see, I can tell you, I think we went 3 inches over the max,
Wow,
which is
it's big.
high.
It is high.
It was quite high. Actually, that's a lie. It was 0.4 feet, so almost 5 inches too high.
Wow.
The lake got really high. We had two rainstorms that were an inch and a half and an inch and over an inch, so almost 3 inches of rain in a week, and then the lake went up about 5 inches. So we spent a couple days over the limit, but it's where it's supposed to be now.
So at the last meeting, we were talking about that article in Lake Magazine about looking
Yeah.
at the patency or the.
Yeah.
of
Well, if you
the-
saw that, the road flooded over there, right?
Yeah.
Commerce flooded? Yeah.
What happened?
When our
Oh, yeah,
roads
yeah, yeah.
got drained, Lake down, Commerce flooded.
Was that when we drained? Is that what
Well,
caused it?
we decreased how fast we were draining the lake to try and address the road flooding over
Okay, I
there.
was wondering what happened with that.
So we weren't draining, we were high, but
Uh-huh.
we were not just letting it pour out.
Right, right. But my point was that Tabitha had mentioned that there was going to be, I don't know, the DNR, some Eagle was going to come out and check this thing to see the status of it.
Engineer Mike Powell,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, he's in charge of doing the
But they,
inspection.
they said there was one plant scheduled though.
Yeah, do you know if that happened or not?
He didn't present any findings at the last meeting, so we
Okay.
follow up with David and we can see what his findings were. But yeah, at the last council meeting, he said he was going to have been in the prior month do the actual inspection, because it was just due.
Yeah.
So coincidentally, the article comes out and, yeah, the inspection was just due.
And who does the inspection?
The city engineer does.
Mike
Mike
Powell.
Powell or one of his crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give Tabitha a call or Dave, and just to see what happened with that.
Okay. Yeah, so lake level's good right now, although we had, I think, probably 4 or 5 days we were over and we went up as high as 4.8 inches, too high. But we had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And the road was flooded. All right. Noteworthy complaints from the village. I haven't received anything, at least not anything out of the ordinary. People were complaining that the lake was too high. So we just talked about that.
And the village took action, opened all the gates.
Yeah, yeah.
And lower level it down, so.
Yep. So, I don't know that there was, I didn't see anything else. Nobody had sent anything else to me. Okay, topic 9, key date to review. So pretty much wrapping it up here. We did have a fishing tournament, which completed. I wanted to participate and did not. But that happened. They'll announce the winners at the Corn Festival this later next month or something.
When was that? Was that last weekend?
Last Saturday. Yeah. So I think it was the 14th or something?
We'll have to remind whoever organizes that and is at the spot there that it's no high-speed boating when they take off in the morning.
Oh, were they
There were
blasting?
some guys blasting. 2 guys went right by my house, and I was swimming. That's why I really noticed it.
They gotta catch those bass, man. Yeah, okay. We should make note of that. I could see, I can actually just fire something off.
Yeah, make sure there's a reminder that they have to read the sign before they take off. Because I was swimming and all of a sudden, I've never had that happen before, because I usually swim early in the morning and they were ripping.
Yeah, we had to catch that bass, man. Before it swam too far. Okay, other stuff coming up, let me just double check. So usually last day of treatment is right around Labor Day. We just heard we'll probably have one more treatment. They're gonna do a survey, sounded like on Monday, so we'll have one more treatment. So that's really it through September, and then we run the harvester through October. We do have to go figure out the fish stocking, what we're gonna do there. That's usually managed around now. That's Jim Sparks. is
Jim was supposed
take
to
care of
follow
that.
up on that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd get an update so I can email him, but usually we have to get in our order for fish stocking right around now too, or at least by Labor Day, so. I didn't do it last year, but this year I do want to get into council and just give them a summary on the year, both, last time we did a summary on what the harvester was for the year, how the lake level was controlled, complaints, blah, 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 so I'll try and do that in October. And then we start bringing down the lake. October 31st is generally when we were doing it.
Drawdown,
Yep.
31st.
Did we move it out last year, or is it, I think the 31st is when we moved it to.
Thought well,
We start drawing it down in
I thought
October?
it was like November 1st.
I'll double check that.
Yeah.
I'll double check that. I feel like we moved it, I can't remember if it was to October or from,
I thought it was October, but yeah, like the end, early November, either way.
yeah, I'll just check that out. See if I can find it real quick. Oh, no, so maybe we did it in, November 1st. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So October 31st, we keep it open till the end of October. You youngsters.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, all right, continuing business, the fish stocking, I don't think you heard anything from Jim, right?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so we gotta get with Jim. I'll just make sure he's doing it. Jim's fish stocking. I'll just send him a note. Okay, plant control on invasive species.
We're good, just got that
We just
summary.
got that downloaded. Harvester discussion, we had assigned that to Matt, who's not here, unfortunately. I want him to go, I sent him all the information on the harvester. I'm gonna ask him to pull together a report on the hours it's run and how many loads it's run and all that stuff, so,
Who's Matt?
Matt Remy, the new guy,
Oh,
he was interested in that, so that's what we assigned him when he joined.
okay.
And then I sent him, I think I signed it to him. And then I gave him all the information.
Yeah,
so
that's right, you did.
I
You
want,
did.
I want him to put together a summary on that. Maybe he could bring it in next meeting. If not, I'm gonna take it back.
See, when Jerry becomes our harvester driver next year, he can just give us a
Just do
summary.
it. There you go.
We'll have a running total.
You got dock replacement costs?
Yeah.
It's in the budget.
We don't have budget to buy everybody a new dog. Okay, lake enforcement issues outside of the boat fishing. I'll just say that outside of the fishing tournament, people not listening to the rules. That's the first complaint I heard. Okay, boat count. You have boat count. So we
Yes.
did do a boat count. We skipped it last year, but we decided we would do it again this year.
Oh, you and I did it last
The
year.
boat count? That was 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, it
Really?
was. Yes, it
Wow.
was.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, well, so Jim and I did that a few weeks ago. So pontoon boats, 353. We combined ski and wake boats because we didn't always know if we knew the difference, so we got 130.
All right, 130.
Personal watercrafts, jet skis, wave runners, 46. And then non-motorized paddle boards, kayaks, 73.
That's it? Non-powered, only 17?
So I don't know how that compares to years past.
So we did,
I think you forgot to enter last year.
no, I don't think it was last year, it was 2 years ago. Because I only did the boat count once, I think.
Okay.
All right, so pontoons, we had 355, 353 now, so same damn thing.
Yeah.
Jet skis, we had 70. And that was
Really?
down to 46. Yeah, so
Huh.
historical jet skis, 113, 108, 103, 92, 89, 75, 70, 46, so.
Maybe they hid them on us that day.
Trending down. Then we had basically wakeboard, ski boat, and other as 3 different categories. It sounds like you basically lumped anything with an engine together.
Yeah.
So we previously had 165 and you had 130 total? Okay. And then non-powered, I can't remember what we counted. Let me see if I get the note here. We counted paddle boats, kayaks, but did not count paddle boards, and that was 232. And you're saying 73.
Wow. I think Jim was asleep at the wheel. I'm just gonna say, I was driving, he was counting. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, I think Jim needs to work on his counting.
Question?
Yeah. Okay.
Question. I just need to lighten up a moment. We own legally, I think, a Red Ryder TV
Okay.
from the Christmas tree,
She's not with me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
and it works. We've got 2 of them, actually. Would we be arrested if we tried to shoot one of those little noisy skidoo things?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
probably.
would, yeah, you would.
Yeah, probably a bad plan.
Yeah.
BB gun?
Yeah, probably a bad
Yeah,
plan.
I wouldn't do that.
do that.
Would you-
No.
Well, it has a range of 27 feet.
I have one more question.
Okay.
I apologize. There's not much of an audience here. I know everyone's home. I read somewhere that with regard to the aerator
Mhm.
aeration system, that some of the fish, I believe the pike or mackerel, would not be happy with this.
With aeration?
Very.
Yeah, we don't run
But
the aerators.
we don't run them.
Yeah, we don't run them any longer.
I'm talking about if they quit doing it.
The lake
So-
aeration,
so
the lake
for the-
aeration system got,
Because of the fish, the unhappy pike?
I don't know.
So for the record, the question was, do we run the aerator and does it have an effect on any of the fish? But since we don't run it anymore, no, there's no effect. We no longer run the aerators.
Yeah, we had an aeration
Because
system.
of the unhappy.
No, because it cost a lot of money and the permits were expensive and the permits expired and we didn't have any measurable improvement in lake quality by running them, so we disabled
Maybe
it.
I didn't have enough information.
No.
Okay, we're gonna keep on moving and then we'll keep moving. All right, so the last section was the kids' barge party. We talked about it last time, so, and we can correct the date now. So for people in the village, there is going to be a barge party for the kiddos. It was supposed to be Friday that just passed, but it's actually this Friday, from 4 to 7. Are you guys on the hook to go do something there?
I can't, you moved the date.
What about you, Rob? You're on the hook? You gonna be there?
Aren't you gonna be there?
I told you I wasn't gonna be there.
Well, I thought maybe you changed your plans.
No.
So,
No, I
so
didn't.
remind me, my task is to do the education on the,
The task was to get with
Life jackets.
the lovely people that are planning the barge party and figure out if we were going to do some kind of educational life jacket thing or something.
and do you have all the life jackets?
I have the life jackets. This
All
is
of
true.
them?
I have or could get easily all of them, yes.
Okay.
I think I have all of them, and then I think I still have the signs that you printed out for me.
Well, I might need to pay a visit to you between,
But I would say
maybe tomorrow, and,
can you just get in touch with
I will.
that email person?
yes, I will.
Because I cannot be there.
I can't either. Now I'm gonna go spend some quality time in Mackinac with my mother-in-law.
Right.
Okay. If you can't do it, it's also okay. But we said that we would.
Yeah,
we would
no,
send
you're
somebody
right,
there.
I did. I almost had an out yesterday, but plans changed.
Right.
Okay.
Jackets on our, on road.
Okay, future business items. You got anybody have any future items you need to add?
I'll bring them up in our council comments.
Do you guys have anything?
No.
All right.
Nope.
Liaison reports. We're going to start with the village council. What's good on the village council?
So we secured the contract for taking out fireworks again, the next couple of
Oh,
years
the
out.
same
company.
vendor?
All right. Locked it down.
Terrific.
So that's good. So we had the date reserved for coming back.
Did they give you a proposed budget?
I believe it was 35, so same, right there, right where we are, and we're still going to do a split with onward upward, so it should be about the same exact cost.
Nice.
For us again.
Nice.
So forward, the same.
Who's onward and upward, just for out of
They do the
curiosity?
all the fundraisers. They run the golf fundraisers, and they're doing the barge
so-
party.
So they match us dollar for dollar, did you say?
I think it was, we'll double check, but I think they put 15 grand into it last year.
Yeah, but
So
all
they put a substantial amount of the funding is just for
fundraising.
fundraising.
Yeah, we do a bunch of.
Yeah,
It's
no.
they run all of like the golf tournament, and they have a card tournaments and all this stuff that they run.
I never hear about this stuff until like it's done.
You gotta get on the distributions, man.
Yeah.
How do I get on the distribution list?
You go on
Jeez,
there
I
and say,
never
"I
hear
wanna
about
be
this
on the
stuff until it's done, and I'm like, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Sometimes they tell you late. They'll tell you, okay, there's a scavenger hunt 2 nights from now.
I would
The barge, you're not on the barge party
I
distribution?
know, no, I'm not on anything. Like I
man.
said, I find out the day after it happened. Can you fix that,
Then you know for next year, right?
Mr. President?
Yes, I will,
He's hooking you up.
send it. I will send it.
All of them, not just one.
Yes, I will send you where you can sign up for the thing.
Okay.
Anyway, Onwards and Upwards, it's a volunteer nonprofit that raises money for the community for things like the fireworks. So they do the barge parties. They do, so you've never had an invite to the barge party?
Never.
Okay.
I find about it the day of or the day after.
Sure, okay. I will see if I can't.
Yeah.
All right, it is, for people that want to know, the website is onupcef.org, onupcef.org. They have an email distribution, they take donations, it is a fundraiser, and they are running the Back to the School barge party as well.
They do all of that on.
Yep, and it's all volunteer.
On up CEF. If I go in there, I'll get notifications of this stuff.
Yep, you can get on a mailing list.
All right.
Okay,
So we
so
also-
great, we got fireworks again, everybody was raving about them.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, so. And also, more pertaining to this process with us, we're going to have local PD has to be able to enforce the fishing license requirements for 17 years older and up. We voted in to have a first reading for that. This is a good thing. So local PD will be able to hand out tickets for people who are fishing without license. And we're trying to move it.
Previously, they couldn't? It was just.
So they could, but one of the things was like the money would go into the state, and it was actually a misdemeanor. So we're going to bring it down to a civil.
Sure.
And then, of course, the money goes into the village if a ticket is written, so.
Sure, okay.
So and it's tiered more like a civil infraction. That's not set in stone yet, obviously, but things like $75, $150, $300. So it's a tier-based infraction.
Sure.
So instead of having to go to court over it, get a misdemeanor, that's a good thing. It would be civil, but also we keep the funds from it.
What does a license cost? Do you know?
I think it's 25 bucks. I just got one a couple weeks ago, and
And it's for 17 and older.
yes,
Yeah,
17
okay.
and older. 17 is technically
So kids
adult
can
and
Yeah.
fish, yeah.
fishing. So kids are still good as adult.
And usually you can get the hunting and fishing license as a combo and all that stuff, so.
Guys, everyone knows about trash pickup.
I know the complaints about trash pickup.
The complaints about trash pickup, yeah, they're true. Everyone's suffering. Everyone's hurting all the way around. If you do have an issue, call the village, because they are still compiling a database of everyone's had an issue and when they've had an issue, so we can have that prepared. So
The
if
contract.
if something happens in the future, we can be like, look, this is what's happening here.
So what is the issue?
They just don't show up.
So
Well, yeah, but why?
They don't pick up
So
recycling. they
next,
don't-
next month at council meeting, at September 11th, they're gonna have, Priority Waste is gonna have a representative come out, and
Well,
they're
poor
gonna
guy.
speak to us directly and tell us exactly what, where, why, how, anything we can ask them about what's going on, what's wrong.
So we don't know what's going on?
So they first were saying that there was a staffing issue, and they said the GFL didn't have enough trucks on it, and it was setting up the routes. So it seems to be that there's multiple issues going over. They also say, please contact the number, there's a toll-free number, and then like a 586 number. That's all on the website. Call them or email them, Priority Waste directly, and complain, and they will.
Was council packed with people complaining about trash last week?
No, but the administration heard,
Okay.
plenty of it. That it
Yeah,
was-
I came in, I thought this meeting was last week, and I pulled in the parking lot, it was packed, I was like, oh my God,
It
what's happening?
was lengthy
I
conversation.
thought our meeting was last week.
Yeah, I accidentally pulled in here, and I was like, wait a minute, there were so many cars, and I was like, what did we do? It was council.
So please, update them. They are,
Yeah.
they're doing their due diligence. so. Yeah.
We were in Commerce yesterday, and today, and took somebody's trash back out to the street. They got the same collector.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be there yesterday.
Yeah.
geez.
So there.
Well, we were doing Meals on Wheels, trying to be helpful.
Super helpful, don't want.
All right, keep moving.
Oh, and then cool, just a little fact, the water overflowing over Commerce, we hit on a little bit earlier too. So it wasn't just from the excess rain, it wasn't from
Yeah.
stuff in the lake too. There's also
Culvert
apparently
clogged or something?
a beaver issue,
A
a
what?
beaver dam issue.
Beaver dam issue,
Downstream,
okay.
if you notice, the water was actually flowing back towards
Yeah,
it.
it was. It was going backwards.
Apparently, the beavers are doing very well. They're very healthy. They're very good at what they're doing.
I didn't even know we had beavers around here.
I just found this out too.
Because the water was coming that way.
It's going back. So, yeah, so apparently there's some dams that they have set up that are substantial. And, local municipalities, Oakland County, Commerce are trying to figure out how to fix it. Some of the dams are like so far back there that they think they might have to like build a bridge to get mini excavating equipment to it just to take it out and hire trappers to get the beavers and all, so.
Jeez.
So there's a little something that
I
wasn't
didn't think
just.
we had them around here.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's clogged, so it can't drain out. So it's
Yep, so
coming
that's
this way,
back
plus
and-
we're draining this way, and,
So that's why it was
yeah.
not just like a 4-hour problem.
But then they had that big steel, what was that
So
supposed to?
that's supposed to be a repair for the culvert, right?
Yeah.
So instead of doing like this massive repair, which takes weeks, they're gonna do, it's like a sleeve.
Yeah.
And they're only planning for it to take a couple days. They also said it'd be done for school starts, so like schools are Monday. And it was on the schedule, for last month with no set date to start, and then it's on this month's schedule with no set date to start, and it seems like and that's, the administration's getting the same information from Oakland County. It's like, we're gonna get to it, it's on this month's list,
Sure.
and now it's on this month's list, so.
So does council ever contact Oakland County about managing the weed problem on Benstein? I know we were very fortunate that in the spring, Oakland County finally, after probably my 12 complaints to them about managing those weeds along the road on Benstein, does council ever work with Oakland County to
I know that-
encourage them? Because it's back up like crazy again, not like it was, but it's gonna be.
We know it's the road commission of the county that chops it all down to.
Yeah.
We can ask Gillum and see what
Okay.
his frequency is on that topic of it.
Because we went for about 2 years with nothing out there, and those things were crazy. I complained to Oakland.
Paper towel or something.
Yeah, oh, they were. Oh, you couldn't see the signage, you couldn't see the speed signs.
Thank you.
Sorry, we kind of feel uncomfortable eavesdropping on your conversation.
It's a public meeting.
It's an open forum.
Wine.
She gave me a note that said, I need my wine.
Well,
You're gonna miss the best part. I talk about the planning commission. Never mind.
But you're talking amongst yourselves.
Well, we can address you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I have to go.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Take care.
There, I'll write a note for, or do you want to fire an email up to Gillum
About what?
to ask about the weed control on Benstein Road?
On Benstein Road between McCoy and,
He can fire off the email. That's his passion.
yes, it is.
He's very
I get
passionate
fired up
about
over
that.
that.
And then bring it back and let us know what you need, and if you need me to bring it up again,
Okay.
I'll bring it up also, and,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, if that
I was
becomes like a safety issue.
sending the county many messages, and they finally, I was to the point where I was gonna go try to chop it down myself, but when I got there, it was so overgrown, it would have taken me half the summer to get
You just go
through
with
it.
loppers, you're like, well.
I did, I thought I could do this, like, no, I can't do this, but anyway, let's move forward.
All right, that covers up the meat and potatoes.
Beaver dams.
Yeah, apparently it's here in Oakland County.
Interesting.
Okay. Planning commission, what you got? Hot tubs, pizza ovens, and what else?
I did not attend, however, I did listen to those that were there. And what they're looking at is, apparently there's been a First Amendment complaint, and I think it was against Commerce, dealing with content stuff on signs.
I have no idea what you just said. First Amendment complaint about content stuff?
Yes, we have, our ordinances currently require certain types of activities for certain types of signs based on their content. If they say this, then it can only be up for so long and be so big and all that sort of thing. So, for instance, political signs, or garage sale signs, or my kid mows your lawn signs, that sort of thing. So they're working on rewording the ordinances so that the ordinances are content neutral. We realize there's still a certain level of, certain signs that are going to be temporary in nature, some bigger signs, Annie's graduating from whatever, or, somebody's having a reveal party or that kind of thing. But it's different than if somebody has their garage sale sign and the garage sale sign stays up for, 18 months.
Or like those political signs down in the,
Interestingly enough, the flags aren't addressed at that meeting, which is something they probably would have spoke to, but, yeah, and there's easement issues. You can't put a sign in an easement. So if it's like right on your fence, I would imagine you are brushing up against the easement issue. But, yeah, so they're looking at content neutral stuff. There's always been rules about obscenity or
Sure.
that kind of thing, or
So
certain.
reworking the rules around signs in the village.
Yes, to comply with First Amendment issues. One of the ones that I think that set it off was the electronic signs. Now, we're in compliance, but you might notice there's one over on M5 that operates like a TV. And it can be awfully distracting for drivers. So, we're looking at that as it could be a safety hazard. That's not a content issue. That's an issue where, yeah, people's, we think it's in jeopardy. People get put in jeopardy with that.
Okay.
So there's supposed to be a public hearing on that at our next meeting, which I thought was going to be tomorrow, but I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't gotten a notice. So,
That was the big topic.
it was a big topic.
Okay. Anything else?
For me.
All right, any closing comments from the old board members?
It's always good to see you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.